Today we expect our photos to be crisp and clear, but there was a time when photos were blurry, partially because of the equipment and chemicals, but also because of the pictorialist movement of photography. Their goal was to make photos look more like paintings. That meant long shutter speeds and the blurring of certain aspects, like tree leaves. I'm not attempting to copy the pictorialists, but it also had the effect of blurring people who appeared in their photos. I'm playing with the idea of really getting movement of people more than objects, but I might kind of try the reverse where the people are still and the traffic is moving. But it's totally become an obsession with me for the past couple of weeks. I'm shooting with a 50mm f4. I'm shooting at about 1/4 of a second and at f11, but like I say, I'm really sliding the natural film or the natural density filter to where I want it to be. We've got a full-size phase 1 on the back. It's a CCD sensor, and that's set at ISO 50. We're using V-series lenses thanks to the adapter here. The unique thing about this is every time I take a picture, I have to manually recock the lens because there's no shutter inside of here. The shutter is actually using the one that is inside the lens. And to slow things down for myself, I am using a waist level finder. There's a little bit of a breeze and it's blowing this tree really nice. So that's the setup. We're gonna wait for some people. So far, I've really been putting people into a wider landscape. And what I think I'm gonna do with the 150 is it won't get me super tight, but it should get me much tighter than I am now, obviously at 50. And ideally, that'll give us maybe not facial expression because they should be blurred, but it should give us a little different look. And we'll see how that works out. And I think kind of where I am is I feel pretty good about the 1/4 of a second. I can't really tell at this point, but it does look like I've got good movement without over blurring, where at 1/2 of a second it just looked like everything was way too blurred. But we shall see when we get it in the computer. The 50mm is equivalent to about a 30 and the 150 about a 90 in 35mm terms. Sometimes I carry just a small equipment bag with a lens pouch. It's much lighter. With the 150, it has a bayonet mount, and you can buy adapters that move it from a bayonet mount to a regular screw-on filter. So you have to do that. This lens works just like the other, where you set your f-stop to your shutter speed. So I want to be at f11 at a 1/4 of a second, and then you turn it to right there. But you can see if I go to, a 1/16 of a second at a 1/2 a second at a f16, you just turn it and away you go. So it's kind of cool. It allows you quickly to be able to control depth of field by just turning one crank like this. Set up at a new location that I like. I think I might actually move a little more here. I think I'm gonna call it a day. we've got enough pictures and some footage so I can kind of compare what it looks like. And I definitely like the 150 a lot better than I like the 50. So I think that's kind of the way to go. Maybe the 120, maybe the 150. I'm not sure which way is going to be better, but we'll figure that out. Right now, though, the 150 was really nice. Maybe even, like the 250 would work better, but that's some trial and error. But yeah, overall, I think we've done okay. So get back, take a look at the footage, and we'll figure it out from there. After a few days of thinking about it, I decided to try something a little different. So the plan is to try and get the traffic totally stopped during the day and the people moving. And the way I think I'm going to do that is to open this window, stick my camera out here. We're using the Blackmagic 6K Pro, but really I could be using just about any camera mount here. It's basically just a big clamp that I put on here. Then I put the camera on here. And the great thing about this clamp is I've used it before with these long handles. I put them down so that they catch on to the frame of the car. So there we go, get this set. The great thing about this camera is it's got the ND filters built in, so I don't really need to do anything with the lens. I'm using a 24mm pancake lens on here, and I've got it set to 2 stops, which gives me a 124th of a second at currently f10. So that should give me a pretty good depth of field, and I've actually got it set up to do interval shots. So about every half a second it'll take a picture. I decided on a location where tourists gathered across the street to the ocean. Usually there's a good number of people just standing and waiting at the stoplight. Looks like we got pretty good on this picture. Got a lot going on here. I'll have to go through it. These are all stills. Obviously a little time lapse here. And this was getting around to the main street again. But yeah, you can see, I think here, I think we got it. We're gonna have to take a look. That was what I was hoping for, was getting these people to move and the cars to look like they're standing still. I think I've got it, but I won't know until we look in the computer. But I think I'm pretty happy with that so far from what I can tell. Yeah, I've got about an hour before the sun goes down and it gets dark. So I think I am going to probably just head home, which is just a few blocks away. Take a look at what I've got here set up for tonight. Okay, we are back. We're gonna make one little change. We're gonna flip out that 24mm pancake lens for this, an 11 to 22mm zoom. You should be able to shut off the ND filters, but otherwise, yeah, exact same setup. I'm planning on driving past the exact spot I shot earlier in the day. Because I can't reach this camera once I start driving, I need to make sure I have everything set before taking off. So here we go. Let's give this a try. We're all moving about the same. This looks pretty good. The far lane is a little fast, but I think the two of us in these 2 lanes are good. Car right in front of me and I can do about the same speed here. So I think that's pretty good. Now all we have to do is get this home, take a look, see how we did. I think we're going to be okay, actually. I'm pretty happy with these. I'm probably going to try this effect a bit more often, but I need to tighten it up a bit. Well, thanks for watching, and please subscribe, like, and comment.